What's going on, guys? We are live with another episode of Hot Topic, and I promise I'm not going to say anything stupid. I'm also going to make sure my headset and my microphone's working.
Your equipment's functioning.
Could you tell the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on my fucking.
Yeah.
It was on my MacBook, and I didn't realize it till a minute. I'm like, why do I sound like shit? So what's going on? What's going on? You guys had somebody get injured up there?
Yeah, man.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so he was named Joe Sitta. He was a trooper in Utah. He's from here originally, a trooper in Utah, moved back. So he was out on a crash on the interstate, single vehicle crash up against the wall, and he was out setting cones up because he's going to work the crash. Traffic started slowing down. Crotch Rocket was racing a car coming up on traffic, came over the hill like 120 something ish miles an hour. We're trying to pull speed, so there was a Tesla that caught it on like this camera. Tesla.
That's crazy that those cars are recording everything.
Yeah, we were doing like the time and distance off that, so he was doing like 120 ish when he came by. So he comes up on traffic, obviously fast. He glances off a car, gets scrubbed off his bike, so he gets pitched off the bike. Bike hits the median, and he starts sliding behind it, so the bike's smacking against the median. Sid is setting up cones. Bike takes him out. He does like two full flips, snaps both of his legs, and then misses his car. So the people that are actually working, the people that crashed the car, they were standing together. It was a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Were standing against the wall. The bike missed them by much, like just so it was doing 106 when it hit Joe, and then hit the car. But luckily it wasn't any joints, it was just bones. I mean, luckily it was just bones. So he had surgery first night, had surgery again yesterday. But he's fucked up, but he's gonna be all right. He's gonna be all right.
Yeah. And that's why we all say, it's fun and games. Everybody's out there going fast on the interstate. And I know we all speed, but at some point when that happens, that's why there's speed limits.
So he's huge into running. So he has I saw him the other day. We were in the hospital room, and the doctor was coming in, was going to do his second surgery. He's like, Doc, I have a marathon in November. He's like, am I good? He's like, no. He's like, some November you'll be all right, but not this November.
Not this one.
Not this one, man. Yep.
What's up? Oh, that's me. Steve K. Pasa. Steve's here.
What's up, Steve?
I'm here for the clockwork. Here like clockwork. We appreciate it. What's up? So, interesting week. We had another sniper today. Dallas, Texas. Do you see it?
No, I've been in the garage. I've been in the garage all day.
Let me hit that up. Ice shooting. Here we go. There we go. We got the who is screen sharing. Share. But we got this. Who is Joshua John? Dallas ICE shooting suspect identified as 29-year-old. I guess he opened fire on a immigration. No cops were killed, but he shot two people and then took the easy way out.
So he shot at ICE.
Yeah, it says let's see, federal no cops were shot, which was strange. It was only shot at detainees, I guess. Did I not put it up? I didn't put it up? Here.
No.
Jesus Christ. I'm a moron. There it is. So 29-year-old man identified who opened fire on an immigration facility in Dallas Wednesday morning, killing one detainee and critically injuring two others before taking his own life. And you know what this becomes? This becomes the blame game now. Like, it's a white male, and then one side saying it's a white male, the other side saying it's a leftist. So we're going to deal with that now. Steve. Self-proclaimed heroes in the States are extorting residents for paychecks and pensions while pretending they're. That's it. That's where we are. What's up, Nate?
I wish I had a pension. Tell me what's up.
I got one. I think I'm getting ready to take it.
I had one at the other agency.
It's a slow night. We're not that popular. I thought we were popular. Make sure we're streaming everywhere we're supposed to be streaming. Let's make sure we're streaming everywhere we should be streaming.
I split my damn finger open. I am still bleeding everywhere.
Am I not live on my channel? What the? My computer was acting up. No, it's not live. Oh yeah, it is. All right. Yeah, my computer's running really slow for some reason. When I tried to hit the intro, it didn't work. So I got a couple things. Let's see what we got here. A couple things to go over here today. Image file. I got this. This is a bright idea. No pun intended. This is a bright idea. So Kansas City police are now going to drive around all day long, 24 hours a day with their blue lights activated.
DC started that shit like 10 years ago.
So I guess there's some places in Florida. I was reading some of the comments, but what's your take on that?
It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. So that was the big thing. Like down here, they actually changed because everyone would ride around with cruise lights on, like just driving down the road through the jurisdiction. We call them bully lights because all they're doing is making you get out of the road. Like they're not going anywhere doing anything. They're not even in their jurisdiction. So they have a law that you actually can't do that anymore down here because it's got such a problem. There was one. Man, like people riding around with cruise lights. Wasn't there somebody in Florida that some guy just got fucked up in an accident because he saw cruise lights coming up on him and ended up like winding up in the hospital or getting torn up because he didn't even know what was going on. But it's dumb. Like the whole if you you're gonna the idea of if the lights are on, criminals are gonna see you and it's gonna be more safe. That's horseshit.
It reminds me of two things. The grass growing around car in the middle of the interstate where they stick the fake car out on the side of the interstate or whatever. Yeah. And then my agency had a great idea. Every Christmas, they would put like a 25-year-old Crown Vic in the parking lot of the mall. Yeah. And just a spot. And it would be there for 35 days in a row. Same place. There was, dirt building around it from the rain. Everybody could tell that there was nobody in it. And I was like, maybe we should like get in undercover cars and like patrol the mall and like patrol these areas that are happening to, getting crime. But that didn't seem. What happened to the logo, Nate? This is the new logo. I ran the new intro. We have a whole new. We're getting sophisticated now, and we're coming up. Tyler hated my AI generated fake flame logo. He mocked it, and we're moving on up in the world. I did switch the logo. About a month ago, self-proclaimed heroes took me to jail because I dared to video a traffic stop, and the DA asked me if I want to drop the charges. What do you think I told him? Well, you can videotape anything you want. So hopefully,
if they took you to jail because you were videoing and you were allowed to, then they're an idiot.
I know in Florida we put a halo rule in effect. Yeah, it's 25 feet. You can't interfere or video within 25 feet of a crime scene, so they can.
Yeah, I haven't seen that was a big thing for the longest time of you seeing cops just snatch people up, but you can't do that, man. But then they got the buffer zone thing, and a lot of them just see it now. It's like I was like Steve was saying, I was allowed to, but if you actually watch the video, they're like up the cop's ass. You know what I'm saying? They're like over his shoulder, like holding the phone in their face. I'm like, hey man, that's against the. That's against the rules, dude.
There was one, and I'm transparent. Martin County Sheriff's Office, which I think is a great agency, but they had one. It was like a double whammy. It was all over TikTok where the traffic stop itself came into question, and I don't know that side of it, but the other side of it was on video, and the kid was intelligent. He was sitting there recording. He held his hand, and he was recording. And the female cop, I have to say female because it was, the female cop says, you can't do that. And he says, what do you mean I can't do that? She's like, you can't record me without my permission. He said, I can record you. And he goes, you're standing in Wawa parking lot. You're being recorded by every camera in this parking lot. Well, that's different. It's private. And he said, I wish I had it. Maybe I can find it. She says something and he claps back like, she says, what are you, a lawyer or something? He says, no, I just have common sense. That's what he was. I mean, he claps back perfectly. What are you, a lawyer or something? He says, no, I just have common sense. And they ended up arresting the passenger and I don't remember what happened. They kind of made it go away, but there was some type of question into the whole stop was on video, and they were saying you weren't wearing your seatbelt or something to that effect. The passenger ended up out of the car, arrested the driver, but he dropped that one liner, and it was like, I respect it. I respect it. Yeah, 30 to 40. Yeah, ours is I think 25, and they put that in right after I got demoted. And if you haven't seen Carl Anderson over on his YouTube, if you look up The Shield on YouTube, it's a long one. I did a 3-hour podcast with Carl, but his editing is Hollywood quality, and he actually, I'm transparent. I handed him the unedited. We love dogs, don't worry. I handed him the. Let me get that up anyway. The Shield. Let me look at that. The Shield.
I just picked him up from surgery. He's high as shit right now.
Oh boy. So let's see. The Shield. Carl Anderson. Let me see if that pops up.
I watched his. You watch
the one on him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in Florida too, right?
Yeah, he was in North Miami Beach. Shield document. He's gonna be mad at me because I don't know. I don't have. This isn't mine. I follow him, but I'm on somebody else's account. Let me see if I can find it. The Shield. There it is. All right, so
White dudes trading their cars for drugs.
I'll give you an idea of how well Carl does in. That's not what I want. In editing, and that the point of this is how transparent I was that I gave him the unedited entire IA of my okay, so here's like the intro.
Their cars for drugs every 15 minutes.
Give you
Ghetto
an idea how
gunship
good he
runs
does
through
editing.
the hood, and that was where I learned how to be a cop. We just annihilated the drug trade in that neighborhood. He looks at me, he goes, "Point your gun at this dude. If he gets out, shoot him." And I'm like, "What the f is going on?"
That's a cowboy shit.
I'm like, "How do I handle this car?" I say, "Handle it like it was your mother."
Yeah.
And I don't mean baby your mother. If you get
So that just gives you an idea of how good Carl edits and does that. And if you have any questions about my internal affairs investigation, I am completely transparent. I gave him the entire document, every page and every body cam video and everything there. He edited it and he presented, and he actually was very transparent. He disagreed with some of the way I handled things, which I believe some people will, but on his own accord, without any input from me, he agreed that at the maximum, if he was a supervisor reviewing that, it would have been a letter of counseling, not a 6-month IA that resulted in demotion. So, Jordan, you should have let your dog come in. Yeah, Liz loves dogs. What kind of dog?
Belgian Malinois. It was my work dog. I was a canine handler for 6 years, and they retired him. I use my dog.
Yeah, I know. I misspelled live. I do it all the time. I'll fix it at the end. I'll be my left family jewel. Self-proclaimed heroes from the States will not treat people like dirt south of the Rio Grande. I have a massive surprise for here. I got 2 things for Steve. I have a massive surprise for Steve, and it didn't get here for this show. It'll be here next week. Everybody's gonna love it. And Steve told me in a comment that he enjoys our channel, and I took that as, of all the criticism and all the comments I've gotten, the dumb dude in the hat, the moron, the guy. When Steve said he enjoyed the channel, I said to my wife, I have made it. I have made it. Steve Ladner enjoys the Copville channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has left the building. Okay, I had a question, and I hope that the guy's watching, and maybe he'll rewatch it. They asked me, and I was supposed to ask you last week, and I forgot. I was supposed to DM you. Other than your agency, which obviously I feel is the best in Georgia, what are some of the other agencies around your area that you're aware of that are, and I'm not making pick fair, but if you were going to go somewhere else in that area, what would be your like top 3 or 4 list of agencies around you that you would go to?
Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, which is north of us. Cobb County Sheriff's Office. City PDs, not a lot. Douglas County Sheriff's Office going out west. They like the SOs. There are a lot of SOs on that. For as far as like PDs, probably none really.
Okay.
What
was the first one? What was the one north of you?
The Forsyth County Sheriff's Office.
Forsyth.
Cobb County Sheriff's Office, and Douglas County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
Yep.
So those would be, and those are all within reach of you.
Yeah, that's all metro. I mean, so technically, Forsyth is the county above the metro counties. But they're this close enough. They border our county. So I mean, it's 9 minutes to get to Forsyth County from where I work. So yeah.
Next time she's coming to see your dog, she has bourbon cream. And he only watches our channel because Izzo said we're doing a good job. So we can thank Izzo, who started. We got Dominic Izzo cooking show before we got Grand Theft Auto.
What the fuck?
He has not been posting at all about cop stuff. He is currently on vacation. And he started a cooking channel.
Is he good? Is he good at cooking?
He's Italian, so I'd imagine. I saw the gravy. The gravy looked good. It looks good. I haven't tasted it yet. He doesn't fly, so it's like going to be tough to get him here.
Doesn't like afraid of planes?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he's not a fan of flying. So, but I'm like scrolling, and he's a real humble. As much as people say about Dom, first of all, he's the most loyal dude. He's got your back when you're with Dom, and we don't agree. We argue, we disagree. But as long as you're not nasty, good dude. 2, he doesn't like ask for much. Like he will share everything I post, and he doesn't ever ask me to share anything. And he's just that type of guy. So I like pop up in my reels, and I'm like, see fucking Dom cooking in the kitchen. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And now I remember him telling me he was going to do it, but it'd been months ago, and I'm like, I looked at my wife. I said, what the fuck, dude? Like he went from like these females. All right, you take the bread out of the oven and you put the prosciutto on top, and I'm like, this is fucking great, dude.
Hey man, you retired guys. I swear to God.
Look at me, yeah.
Hobbies.
Look what I got. Forsyth County Sheriff's Office was featured on Cops.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on, one more. I like Dominant because he doesn't care if he upsets her, but I don't either. You should see what I posted today. I had one of the I posted a female from Vinton, Louisiana. Population 3,100. 3,000 followers, bazillion videos, high filtered, and she decided that she's going to come in my DMs and talk some smack. But then it got posted and all that, and then I sent her a picture of her sheriff and her chief and the email and explained how public records works. And I was like, yeah, I don't know if you want to do this, but we can. And then one of her trailer park friends came in and called me Fuckville instead of Copville and had something to say. But so who's left? Dom's going to stop doing that. What am I going to do with myself? I don't know what to do. Like,
is Tom's not going to do it anymore?
I don't know. I think he's like Chef Dom Morby. Chef. I don't know. I mean, I bet it's less stressful. This is stressful.
I was gonna say, you know that because his blood pressure was up every time he had one of things, but he was idling at 9.
And if anybody's listening that hasn't heard or doesn't know, I'm a glutton for punishment, and I took the full-time co-host job at Anti-Hero Podcast. Very big seat to fill. Brent Tucker moved on to his own podcast, and he had a large following. A lot of guys in the special operations field followed. There's been a lot of back and forth. I actually had Rob O'Neill come at me. Rob O'Neill, Navy SEAL, the guy who says he killed bin Laden. He posted a video basically saying Anti-Hero was going down. It was finished because there's a couple pieces of shit that are lying about things and posting things that aren't true. I simply wrote another group of lies. So I wrote something like another bunch of lies from this guy, and that was it. And Rob O'Neill responded with, "Are you going to do an episode on Corey Smith?" Which is the reason I got demoted. And I laughed and I wrote back, "I've done about 15 to 20 episodes on that, but if you'd like to do one together, we can cover it." And then when he realized, I realized that he had done enough research on little old Mike Dilk's Copville. Then it wasn't Rob O'Neill anymore. It was his podcast page saying, well, Rob O'Neill doesn't even know who you are. Rob's not interested in you. And I'm like, Rob O'Neill knows about Corey Smith, who wasn't even the guy. It was his dad I arrested, but he knows about little old me over here in Vero Beach, Florida. So I thought it was funny. Then he deleted it, which always is the killer. When they delete the comment and they don't want that to be seen anymore, it deleted. But, Anti-Hero is a big, it leaned very hard towards special operations. And what we kind of gathered is there's conventional regular Army guys and Marines and Navy and Air Force, people that didn't make Hollywood. And Jimmy Arnett is one of our co-hosts as well, who basically said if you watch the TV or if you watch any movie, you would assume that SEAL Team 6, the SEALs and Delta were the only people that went to war, and they fought every battle and they did everything you could possibly do. They did a lot, and we need them. But the basic, and I say it with quotes, the basic conventional grunt, 19, 20-year-old dude that left home, there were tens and thousands of those dudes that fought from sun up to sundown in a foreign land, watched their buddies get murdered, killed people, watched people get blown up. They kind of got forgotten. Hollywood forgot them because it's kind of like, and now the analogy to police work is like a detective or a SWAT guy walks in, everybody's like, ooh, canine SWAT. And your bare bones, basic patrol guy that does the 3 a.m. roller dogs and does all that stuff kind of gets forgotten. So what the show is kind of shifting towards is we're just, it's the same thing. It's 3 guys, 2 were military, or 3 were military, 2 were cops, and bring in the conventional basic guys and let's tell some of their stories and have them highlighted. And that's kind of what it is. And, we got some negative kickback from the guys that were fans of the other, just special forces. And I expected, but, people they're nasty. They're, calling people's wives out and calling us fat and, just shitty people. But overall, I like a moron, I took on a big spotlight, but I'm excited about it. So for those who are interested, Anti-Hero broadcast 10 a.m. live every Monday, and Anti-Hero podcast 8 p.m. Thursday nights for the boys. And we got to get you down here. I talked to you earlier about it. We're gonna get you down here and get you on the show. Mike, you're great on Anti-Hero. Thank you so much. I have a question. Oh boy, 90% of the population is blessed with special ops, and this is yeah, it is. Here we go. Rob O'Neill's prior teammates like DJ Sipley and Cole were asked if they said yeah, he was their TL. That's it, nothing else. Yeah, I don't want to get into the bro drama, and that's, Anti-Hero was a lot of that. We're kind of going a different direction with it. So I don't know enough about it. I didn't educate myself. I know the Tim Kennedy stories and Marcus Luttrell and O'Neill and
the problem when you have any high speed guys, no matter what it is, military, law enforcement, whatever branch of military law enforcement, like with that, an overwhelming majority of the time they come with a gigantic ego, and that clash, as you said, like the bro stuff, they become like these catty bitches, man, and they just are at each other.
It's like they have to one up each other.
Yeah.
And I said that on there, and I'm not taking away from those guys. Those guys are, and I said this on the Anti-Hero.
Yeah.
Those guys never leaving this country, staying in this country for their entire career, are the most elite, hardcore human beings ever breathe. That will ever breathe. They don't have to fabricate or whatever. But, and I was one of them. I was a SWAT guy that was the guy and decided to get on TikTok in 2020 like a moron. And I considered myself using not only the badge, but the SWAT, the next level up. I, mentally ill, use that to make some videos. Oh, he's a SWAT guy. And it always is going to hold a little bit more value. So I understand the process of taking advantage of a higher position like SWAT and making a mockery of it. And I did. And I apologize. And I'm a moron. You can make fun of me. I'll make fun of myself. So when those guys do that, it's like you already are an elite person. And now you're.
How much more gratification do you need in the things?
Tim Kennedy was a fucking a special ops guy and a fucking MMA fighter. I mean, that's as cool as it gets.
There's if you look at the resumes for a lot of these guys, you see what's that dude's name? Sean Ryan. He'll go into his podcast and he'll read the fucking CV of these dudes. You're like, is this guy fucking real? There's no way. There's baddest dudes ever. And then not that they ever do, but you watch them talk, you're like, didn't need to say that. We all know you're him. We all know you're him. You don't need to stick him. Dude, stop.
Yeah. And who, and I think some of them, so, what was Bin Laden was May of what Obama was in 12, somewhere in there when they killed Bin Laden.
I did Rob O'Neill is he's very entertaining to watch. He loves talking about stuff, and he is kind of funny, and he has good quips and stuff like that. I watched it was a fucking rapper. back in the day. Joe Budden. He did a he did an interview with him, and that was entertaining as shit to watch. I don't know if it was true. I don't know what's not. I don't give a shit. It was super entertaining to watch Rob. But and some of these guys, yeah, man, they're the baddest dudes ever. And you watch him, you're like, he's like a clown, man. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to say that. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Steve's got. Last time I watched the channel, Jordan told me to ask a real question. Do to know all of the elements of the First Amendment without looking up? Do you know?
How did I know? How did I know it was going to be a legal or a First Amendment question? No, I don't.
You're fired.
I don't.
To Steve, rattle them off, Steve. Hit it. If we don't know it, everybody says what? Free speech, right? Let's do it for Steve. It's kind of like one of those things, like you don't know the whole Fourth Amendment, but like you know. Here, let's go. First Amendment. For Steve. The First Amendment guarantees freedoms concerning religion, expression, assembly, and the right to petition. It forbids Congress from both promoting one religion over others and also restricting an individual's religious practices. It guarantees freedom of expression by prohibiting Congress from restricting the press or the rights of individuals to speak freely. It also guarantees the right to citizens to assemble peacefully and petition the government. I mean, I would have had it summarized pretty close.
I could have got you close. I don't know.
And as long as press, speech, religion, as long as you know those three words, you kind of use common sense.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Petition the government and
petition the government. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely would have missed that part.
Yeah. Good luck with that. You're gonna get far with that. The Real Housewives of Special Forces, just always chasing their next hardest thing for real. So it's special operations fault. Hollywood wants to make no, it's not. It's not what we said.
No.
It's not. It's nobody's fault because, well, no, it's
they
not.
do entertaining shit. People want to see entertaining shit. People don't want to see the daily grind of being a regular Army soldier, Marine, whatever, out there digging your pit, burning shit, holding down a fob, just the regular mechanics of how an army works.
Because even
troop movements, nobody cares about that shit because it's basically they want to see firefights and stuff blowing up, and really, and the guys they saw on the news, they want to see them getting their fucking heads blown off.
That's what they want. That's what if you look at the popular movies, you got Saving Private Ryan, which is like 90% just war, and then a good plot twist. You have Band of Brothers. I remember Band of Brothers, and the other one, the Iwo Jima, the spinoff of it. But those were constant war. Like you said, it was very graphic and war-y. There's nothing cool about telling the story of a guy who walked through Iraq for 15 months and just cleared buildings and maybe killed 10 people or whatever. But when you get into like Marcus Luttrell's story, but the story's never true in Hollywood. There's always fluff.
You have to, and that's the same. You have to glamorize, and you have to like a lot of stuff, especially like every cop show, whatever. Cop work is 99% boring as fuck. Like this, even when you have something wild kick off, it's a matter of seconds or whatever, a minute, couple minutes, and it's all the thing's over. You can't spin that into a whole.
Yeah,
you
can
take the idea of it.
Even like
I was talking about. There's a I want to say it's OP Restrepo. There was a video on YouTube. It's old back in the day, but it's just a group of normal dudes at an outpost, and like just their days of going through playing cards, and randomly they would get shot for the mountains, and they would kind of do whatever. That was kind of just their thing. And if you do that for months and months and months and months and months, nobody gives a shit about that. It's just what you do for it. It's just what you do. But there's no you can't turn that into it. You can't turn that into a movie.
And even in the real stories like Lone Survivor and any of those, there's always fluff and
there's
non-true. So it's never really accurate. But yeah, who would want? It's like cops would know, or On Patrol Live. They ride for fucking weeks, and they're at 8. Cops rode for weeks. On Patrol Live has like 3 or 4 camera crews with like 8 agencies to fill like an hour show. So even in all that going on, big cities, little cities, all that, they're getting to 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And what are you gonna watch me take like a civil report, or the lady that thinks there's
Yeah, but like I said, most of the time,
Decorations
even
you're
if
talking
even
to
if even if you have a group of guys that are really really good, I mean, like you could have had that, like you could have, like when I was in crime suppression, like there was, and we were the very very best at it. I don't give a fuck. We were the best, and even we would have just dry days where nothing, nothing, and all we're doing is sitting in parking lots talking to each other, just like making fun of each other and doing dumb shit. Like there's nothing. It's boring. It's boring. It's just a boring day. Yeah.
Hold on, we know about you guys right here. If you want to know who he was part of the NFAC, you can find that on the Copville website, the Not Fucking Around crew. Still one of my favorite videos. I dug and dug. You're gonna love the intro. I'm telling you, you're gonna love the intro, and you're gonna love it. I haven't seen it yet, but I gave her all the ideas of what I wanted and the sound bites I wanted, and it's pretty good. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and the right to petition the government for redress grievance. And I think he was right before these guys were right before I even looked it up. Fuck the police. That's right, Steve.
Right. Fuck the police.
He went from asking a real question to that. So if we're generalizing
but
special,
it wasn't even a weird. That wasn't even a real question.
Yes.
A question adjacent to your spiel, like something like.
This is a good one. So if we are specializing, if we are generalizing special operations, should we generalize all cops and say y'all are tyrants based on the video? Okay, so let's break this down.
What the what?
No, and that took a weird turn. But let me say, we didn't put them down. We didn't call them tyrants. We didn't say anything bad about them. We just said they do. Actually, we said they do really cool things.
Yeah.
So now you're spending it to tyrants. But I'm with you, because what do we see on? Would you watch cop videos if it was the cop walking up and doing everything correctly every time and then leaving? You want to watch me take a burglary report? You want to watch me do a traffic stop where the guy gets a ticket and doesn't argue? You want to watch me arrest a guy that doesn't resist?
Barking dog call.
Thousands nobody's going to watch
alarm,
that.
The daily false alarm.
Of the hundreds of thousands of calls every day, what do we get? 4, 3, 4, 5 a week where we see something wild out of all those calls?
Yeah.
But I'm now that I'm not a cop anymore, I do agree with you more about the government and the cops. I didn't realize the cops should be working for the people. And sometimes you have to look at the agency and go, is this the right, like the mask, the whole mask? If I could redo the mask thing, I would have probably got fired. I'll be honest with you. If I could redo the COVID mask mandate and enforcing it, I would have probably quit. And I didn't have the balls to, and I'll admit it. I just needed a job. But there's some times when the government comes along and says things that we probably shouldn't agree with. And I think all cops, you would have a real tough time and it would be over. There was no way you're going to have enough cops to enforce if they decide to try to take the Second Amendment away. It's not happening. It's not happening. You're going to have no police force. You're going to have a civil war, and the people with the guns are going to win. So I want to bring this back up. I can understand the argument that there are a lot of bad use of force videos, but that's not the same comparison we're making. We're saying that both sets of people are very good people. One gets glorified more. So in your argument, you're taking the bad cops that are doing the bad things. We're not talking about the bad military guys, because there's military guys doing fucked up shit too. We're talking about the good cops. We're talking about SWAT and patrol, where SWAT is getting more credit. There's shows called SWAT. There's this, that, and the other. And if they make a show that's about regular patrol, like one of those 911 shows, there's like cranes falling on people every episode and, wild shit happening that never really happens. So it's impossible to make a cop show that's realistic because nobody would watch it. All right. Some of the leaked JSOC footage looked like a total cakewalk compared to Marines and Shanghai Valley. See, some of the stuff I don't know about, dude. Meanwhile, movies like Restrepo, Conventional Guys in the Blender, Entertainment sells. Exactly.
Sells, man. Yep.
Yeah. Nothing normal sells. Would you agree comparing dead military people to each other is wrong? Oh, this guy.
Would you agree comparing
this guy? Is this the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody alleged this might be Rob O'Neill. He was doing some real wild comments on our social media. This is weird.
Comparing dead military people to each other is wrong.
So this guy was on Jimmy's reel about talking some big stuff about the Jimmy's comparison to special ops, and he had a real problem with it. And this is a brand new account. This was just created on Instagram. Now it's on YouTube, and it's somebody who doesn't like us. So that's why these wild questions. Listen,
that,
dude.
That doesn't even make any. That doesn't even make
Yeah,
any sense.
I'm not the military guy. I'm talking about movies, and it's weird, dude. It's weird. This guy's weird. I think this
Comparing
is
dead military people to each other is wrong.
it
Well,
might
how
be-
are
you
you comparing them?
You know that guy likes to hit the sauce and throw racial slurs around and stuff too. There's a SOCOM athlete, short of Marine for recon or MARSOC, telling young recruits to go into selections. They will work and live both the 11 Bravo. Yeah, that's how we're going to live. 11 Bravo. Here we go. Self-proclaimed heroes don't care about the law until it happens to them. Y'all will not be laughing and talking nonsense when it gets real. Here we go. That's not true. The person on your podcast compared how many people died conventional versus, you know what? Take it up with him. This is Copville. This is counterculture. There's whatever beef you got with Jimmy Arnett, go handle it. Go take it over there.
I was gonna say, so it was like, all right, so he's talking about some other shit.
He got his little weenie hard over the Rob O'Neill call out that Jimmy Arnett did, and he was talking whatever. And you know what? This is the stuff, like, these guys want to preach division and argument. Rob O'Neill went first and bashed the anti-hero guys without saying the name, bashed Tyler, said all this nasty shit. We got a new guy that basically you can go watch it. It's on the anti-heroes page. He says some stuff about this, and this guy, this is a brand new account that was made to hide their identity. That's somebody that's wiener's hurt. And it comes from the Rob O'Neill page, and it's a brand new account. It's very, very suspicious that this person has such a beef with a small guy like me. He probably wants to talk about Corey Smith. Yeah, that's fucked. No, but your friend Tim Kennedy did. Ballbuster, bust my nuts. Residents are being extorted to pay their own demise. Here we go. No, bro, don't run away from it. Now, why don't you guys go down to the Soho Memorial and say, bro, this guy.
I got nothing for this.
First of all, what did I say? Tell me what Mike, the Corey Smith guy, the guy that Rob O'Neill is obsessed with, Mike here, little small guy. You tell me what I said. You go clip what I said and go listen to what I said. And I basically said everybody's the same and everybody should be treated the same. So I'm not running anywhere, bro.
I wasn't there, so I don't know what the fuck.
But I'm not the one. Look at these are the big bad special ops guys that are hiding behind a fucking fake name. They can't do it face to face. So whatever, that's where I take it and you go, you can say all you want when you're ready to put your face, and I can just block them and remove them. And that's funny. If I silence him, he'll keep typing and have no idea that he's not being seen, and he'll just be out in nowhere land doing whatever while we're just talking. I'm not going to do that. But how do you respect a guy that creates an account and then doesn't say who he is, has all these big words, so he obviously knows the inside and outside. He's some guy, and he can't even identify himself. He's got to hide behind a fake name. So, you know what I call those people? Call them cowards. So anyway, I like Steve better. Self-proclaimed heroes in the States treat residents like dirt for paychecks and pensions, but will not step south of the Rio Grande and do the same thing. We don't have jurisdiction down there.
Yeah, I'm not going to Mexico, man.
Right? I can't go down there. I can go on vacation there.
I got no interest in going.
No. I'm right here, Rob, but I don't want to steal your show for you, bro. I want to talk about cop stuff. I'm right here, Rob, but I don't know what that means either. If he thinks it's Rob O'Neill too. It's just weird. Like I said, if you go watch The Real with Jimmy.
I'm not saying no. That's Rob fucking O'Neill. This Ballbuster 601. Come on, dude. Like, really?
I'm just telling you that it came from that site. You see the language is definitely somebody who knows the lingo.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, they
know. He's got an obsession with Jimmy now, what Jimmy said. Let me back up and see what was the allegation here again.
So he was comparing.
I know Jimmy said something.
He was saying. I'm just. I don't fucking know. He was saying like comparing that conventional Army guys.
This is Jimmy. Oh, that's the one who said it. I'm like, what? What the fuck is he saying? Okay, I didn't realize that was Jimmy. He's got that old. Now I recognize the picture. So Jimmy said it, and one of the things he did say was he talked about like the cemeteries, and he basically said like 99% of your military cemeteries are full of conventional guys.
Yeah,
and then you have less. So every person that dies, regardless of what their job is, every human that dies is sad, tragic, no matter, they get murdered, killed. It's all sad. But these guys want to spin this controversy.
I don't understand why. Like it fucking like it's like looking at. We'll bring it back to this is a cop. This is a fucking cops bro. I'm not a military guy.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about walking into anti-hero.
So like if you go to like ODMP, all the guys who died, most of them are just regular fucking cops, right? Like there's some SWAT dudes in there every once in a while, and there's some guys serving warrants and doing whatever and doing some high speed low drag shit. Most of the guys getting fucking killed are just regular fucking patrol guys. Does anyone give two shits about it? No, it fucking sucks. It sucks if you die, if a cop dies, if a military guy dies. It's trash. And for you to be like, oh, well, to put a little flavor on there being like, well, it means more if it's a soft guy versus a regular. That's bullshit. Stop.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Here we go. Stupid. I didn't know there was a normal thing to compare dead military people. Pretty weird argument. I don't even know what this means. Like, he must be drunk. Like
Ballbuster 601.
It's the same guy.
I'm just saying that's a.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a normal thing to compare. I don't understand. I didn't compare anybody.
He doesn't make any sense. And we're not comparing people. I'm not comparing people now.
No, like these are the people. This is what I'm talking about with these fucking guys, man. Like I don't understand. Like what? This dude is sitting at a computer right now watching my ugly face with these like stupid fucking comments, and I didn't say him. I didn't say him, dude.
We don't know. We don't know anything about what you're talking about.
No, we're here to talk about Steve and the self-proclaimed heroes.
Yes.
Dude, this guy. That's like going to a Patriots game and wondering why the Giants aren't playing. Like he's not even in the right ballpark.
That reminds me.
Like that comment is like
of a stupid ass saying. I'm gonna get it wrong. It's like arguing with a moron is like playing chess with a pigeon. It's gonna walk around, shit on the board, knock all the pieces over, and act like it fucking won anyway.
Yeah. Like anyway. I got it's bad. I think I have some video. What do I got?
Did you save that clip of the guy running away from the cops? She just goes, fuck it.
No, I got. Hold on, let me go to my I can't go to my Instagram. Shit. So I get like videos like this, and then with no context, which is the police world. So I got like this one.
Hey, my man. I like you, man. Come here, man. Come here for a second, man. Come here for a second. Put your fucking hands up. Put your goddamn hands up.
So that's it. That's what they put up. And then the headline you see is like, the police do XYZ without a warrant. And then somebody sends me that, and I'm like, bro, I need context. Like, is he wanted for murder? Is he fresh pursuit? Like, obviously, they're running after him. They can run into the house at that point. They don't need a warrant. Like the headline says, without a warrant. So I get like these half-ass videos sent to me with people questioning what that person could do, and I'm like, they can kick the fucking door in if it's
just run straight through the door.
Yeah. I mean, there's no it was a female. Maybe they're upset about that. I don't think I can look at my Instagram. You know,
man, there was a damn. I was looking at like BJ Jacobs posted something of a cop that he like had dude had him in a gift wrap and did like an ankle tie and flipped him over, took his back. Like it was a bad,
there's a couple. Hold on. Let me.
It was fucking legit as shit.
So there's this one that was posted today. Where's it? Hold on. This one. All right. How do I go? Share screen. Instagram. Share. There was this one here. That Jay Wadsworth.
That one. Yep.
2 times 10. 1 or 2 mil. I'm trying to make
got that gift wrap.
And then he shows how he trained it.
You, I bleed blue. What you rapping? Left foot, right
Awesome.
foot. How you stepping?
So I covered that one, and then how do I get to my page? How about this one? Do you see this one? Of course, mine's a meme, but this one.
Oh yeah.
That reminded me of you. with the because what he says something like, "You broke my back," and I felt like it was the same. It was the same. Like, did you see the patch? You know who you're dealing with. So Let me see. And then there's was there anybody? What else did I have? I don't think there was any other videos I really had. I was dealing with the logo. I wanted to get the logo up so bad that I slacked on the videos. I did my episode this morning. I think I put down a reel or two of that. You can watch like a little preview of if anybody's interested in this morning's.
Is that the exit plan?
Yeah, so I did a little bit. Hopefully Rob O'Neill likes it. There we go. Do it. So you have to get ready to move on from law enforcement as a long-term goal. And I didn't know I was doing it. I didn't know that I was going to be lucky enough. And I say lucky, but I put a lot of work into it. I didn't know that Copville and this opportunity was on the way. I started a small business that I really. That one's gay. Hold on. I got a better one. There's one where I'm talking more shit. Hold on. There we go. I mean, I'm going to keep it short, about 30 minutes. That's what the point of this episode was. As I've exited the job and I hear a lot of people, now I get a lot of messages that people want to exit the job. These are the things that I think you need to think of and worry about. And at the end of the day, the most important person is you and your family. And don't ever forget that. As much as I want good cops, and we should have good cops, it's not our fault that the culture has created Greg Tonys and Carmine Marcinos and Wayne Ivies, and I want to say his name. I took the high road on my
this
sheriff.
Time. It's not my fault that, and that's just in Florida, that the people that are now in charge are self-served, that put their name on every door and create an environment that is toxic, and there's no recourse and no way to stop it. That's not your fault. That's not my fault. So do the jump outs, arrest the warrants, get the bad guys, smash the bad guy's car, flip them upside down if it allows you to, but don't ruin your life for guys and agencies and a job that doesn't care about you. So that's kind of what I talked about, and then talked about, I get a lot of messages and about like, hey, I want to quit. And I talked about in the episode where I'm sure you've done it too. Yeah. Hold on, what's this? Is it normal to body slam choke elderly man? Did we see that? Did we post anything about that? Oh, he's talking about me. See, that's got to be him. Did the elderly man need to get body slammed? He didn't get body slammed. If you watch the video, it's a jujitsu. Actually, I took the brunt. I almost broke my elbow, smashing on the ground. And then I did a cross face. It was in the paperwork determined that I didn't choke anybody. So this also could be the psychopath that reported it all and tried to get everybody in trouble. And I'm not going to say his name either. But there's a psychopath on the loose that has a 61-page IA that he did a lot of bad things to women. But he's banned. We're done with him. So my episode was about that. And then I get a lot of messages where people say, just like, I'm sure you've been on days, you're like, fuck this job, I'm done. We've all said it. I get those messages and it's like, I'm going to start a podcast. And I feel like the podcast is the lawn business of the 80s in Florida, where everybody's going to get a lawn business. There's only so much grass to cut. There's only so many things you can talk about on here. And that this is not a very stable place. Yeah, my exit strategy is completely removed from law enforcement. I'm not doing any law enforcement shit. I always have a discussion because I got depending on how life goes, I'm guessing 10, 11 more years than I'm done. But my stuff after this is all I don't plan on going back and being an instructor. I don't plan on doing that shit. I'm gonna take the enjoyment I have from it and move on. I don't have any. All my stuff is real estate investments, retirement accounts. I have rental property. I got stuff that that's gonna allow me. The biggest thing is my plan when I'm done is I'm not gonna be tied to shit because I've been tied to this career. I've been tied to this career for 30 fucking years. Yeah. And when we're done, I'm gonna pick up and I'm going to me and my wife are going, where are we going to go today? And all my income is going to be substantial and passive. So I don't have to worry about being showing up
that's what I
and it's
try
set
to
up
explain.
now, right? It's going to be set up by the time that you're done. And I'm sure you probably cover this, but like, there's going to be too many guys that were like, and then one of the biggest things, the reasons of like, oh, when I was done, when I left that other agency, I was in a situation where I could, you know what I'm saying? Like I just be like, I'm out of here. And because I actually took a little bit of a pay cut to go, just because but also I was set. I didn't really, I was fine. But there's too many guys. You don't want to, and also you don't want to be trapped in a situation where you can't get out, right? If you just the stress of if you want to leave, now you can't leave. But you gotta set yourself up. Everyone's, and there's I think if 40-year-old me could have told 20-year-old me when I started doing this shit what to do, I would have done a lot of it differently. I've started a lot of it earlier, but have an exit strategy. This stuff's great. Yeah. And I'm gonna go till the very last day. The very last day I'm doing this, I'm gonna go 900 miles an hour, and then on that Monday I'm done. Yeah. But this career, it's not so much your agency will care about you a lot of times. Some of them don't.
Sounds exactly like what I said.
This job doesn't give a shit about you. Yep. Like when you leave, when I've done a lot of good things, and I'm very proud of the things that I've accomplished. But the day I'm not there anymore, nothing's gonna fucking change. Everything's gonna be all right. Nothing's gonna be the same.
And that's what I talked about. I talked about if you're at a good agency, then stay. Like don't do it. But if you're not, I said, as we talk, gray-haired dude talks a big game, but has never lived outside the States. Proved me wrong. Never lived outside the States.
How do I, of course,
did y'all see the video of the meth chick in handcuffs try to pour Mountain Dew on herself to destroy? Yeah, I did see that one. End of the day, self-proclaimed heroes are that have no duty to protect anyone but themselves and extorting residents for paychecks. I love it. The Oklahoma City officer shoved an elderly Japanese man on the parking lot, was putting his finger in the cop's vest. I didn't see that. I have 2 jobs if you're looking for something. Hope there you are. Blah, blah, blah. Having financial stability when you retire always allows you to explore whatever you want. Correct. My friend from Mexico just
make money while you're sleeping. What was that? Yeah. What was it? What is
Steve's out. His friend from Mexico just up. His señorita just got here. He's got to go. Fuck the police.
Enjoy, bro.
So yeah, I talked about like I got lucky, man. I got very lucky to end up after body slamming and choking the old man. I got very lucky to end up. You
assisted him to the ground.
It's not actually. I didn't even take him down. The female did, but I got lucky that I lived very. I was bad, dude. From 2009, I told you I was a courtesy officer at a fucking apartment complex, making no money, not working overtime. I kind of given up, and I got lucky to. I started a stupid page. I talk about this. The page takes off. That allows exposure. Exposure led to sales. Sales led to being able to donate and help, which motivated me even more. It led to me being able to buy podcast equipment. And I just inadvertently started a small business. And then when all the shit hit the fan and I had to go, I knew I could survive. That is obviously not normal circumstances for most guys who are living. Most cops, I'll be honest, live paycheck to paycheck. We buy the big truck, we buy the car, we buy this, we go here, we do whatever we do. And,
they have no exit strategy. Yep.
And then the agency knows that. And then it's basically like a cult. They know you can't go anywhere. Jordan is the GOAT. He is. So it's unfortunate, but it's not, it's almost something we can sit here and talk about all day. Like, some 20-year-old kid he don't give a shit what we're saying. He's gonna go buy. He's not gonna invest.
I'm like, shut up. I'm like, yeah.
I remember every time
play a pit video. I don't give a shit.
Every time I got a new credit card, we'll cover that in a second. Every time I got a new credit card, I remember when I was in that mode, I would just take it on vacation, max it out, and then be like, okay, now I got a $250 payment. That's 27% interest that I'm gonna pay off in 27 years. Isn't that great? And I did it again, and I was just like living the dream.
That was like that's a cop math. You'd be like, all right, I can do this, and if I work 2, extra jobs, potentially it's free. You don't got to worry about it,
And then when you do that 11 times, and you're like, well, I can't work 72 hours in 2 days. Oh, now what do I do? Yeah. I really didn't, Jimmy. I didn't go. You're probably better off than me. I didn't see much about it. I saw there was a sniper. We covered it right at the beginning, and then guy killed himself.
I didn't look at it, so I don't know.
I failed you guys today by not covering that. And sometimes maybe we shouldn't cover, I mean, all the bad stuff. Those guys look for I don't know, man. I'm too much. I can never. And this is going on the record. I will never kill myself. I promise. So if I get killed, if I'm dead, I don't care if the gun is in my hand and you've walked in and it's like this. I did not kill myself.
I was saying, like, I'm my favorite person, man. If they say Jordan killed himself, I'm like, bullshit.
Nope.
I'm like, where's my wife?
I go do 1,000 calories a day to make sure I don't die. Like I'm trying to reverse aging.
Yeah.
So these guys that get it, I can't imagine that thought process when you put yourself so far into that scenario where it's like that's your. And I just thought about something though. It plays in the conspiracy of Charlie Kirk. Because on the Anti-Hero, somebody said, have you ever seen an active shooter in that scenario not kill themselves or not be killed by the police? And Charlie's is like the only one. And I just thought this guy killed himself. So that just popped in my head.
Man, speaking of random ass suicides, we had just a weird one. Fuck it. That we're talking about suicide. There was a guy on the interstate. The big sound attenuation barriers are like 40, 50 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He climbed up a tree, went out on the limb, got on top of the barrier, and then just slit his throat and laid over and died.
Wow.
That was one of the. But like, here's my thing. Like, if you're committed to doing it, I mean, you're committed. He had a note and everything. But that, like, the event, the Herculean effort it took you.
Yeah, because you're thinking about it the whole time.
You're thinking about it the whole time. And then to slit your own throat. My man. Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, they when I came out, I was like, the fucking what happened? Yeah. Let's see you want to do all the time. You should have done it.
If people do anything for money, it's just talking about somebody making noises for money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I did not kill myself, I promise. But yeah, that was a strange one. Live within your means, and then any OT or detail money is extra towards vacation or investment. Jerry Worms. That was John Avery. Jerry Worms is the GOAT. Thanks, Nate. And we're back and forth. So yeah, I just thought about that because there's, Candace Owens is off the deep end in conspiracy. Like she's off the deep end. And I know she's pretty controversial, but and a lot of people are off the deep end with now. I saw another video today where they're saying the shot came from the bushes. I don't know. I guess I try to believe. I don't not believe the conspiracies happen. Obviously, there's things that just don't make sense. But sometimes I think, and it's from being a cop, is where you watch a person on video watch an event, and then you ask them what happened, and it's not even close. Like they're completely off, and you're like, you just saw it. Yeah. And they're like, no, the guy was in a pink shirt with a blue wig, and you're like, no, he was in a green shirt and he is bald. Yeah. Well, it's like, so your brain will start to think.
Trauma response, man, is just fabricates this fever dream of just nonsense that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think the one guy, I think he did something a long time ago, like one time. I don't know for a fact, but one guy made a mention that he tried something once, and everybody had a big. How do I avoid a ticket, man? Try to use the Copville, man. Tell them you know Copville and tell them they'll be on the page if they give you a ticket. Yeah, I remember when I left the sheriff's office, I didn't go. I got offered and I turned it down, and like my buddy went ahead of me, and he admitted to like 8 years before that in college to like not even doing steroids. He said his buddy gave him a package. He had no idea what it was, and he like handed it to another guy, and they shut him down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's drugs. I mean, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I know I got another guy who did steroids, and he went to another state, and they told him, you can't get hired anywhere in this state, haven't ever done it. And I'm like, God damn, that seems harsh. But, I mean, rules are rules.
Rules, man.
I don't ever argue the rules. Jordan, your take on the sheriff in Georgia going on. Oh, yeah. We didn't cover that. That's what we should have covered.
Yo! Yeah. No.
Henderson. What's his name? Rick Henderson?
I
covered it on the Friday night show. It's the second time. I think I have it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Video.
I'll be honest with you. I like, not that I whatever. Like there was always, you always heard about it, right? That was always like, I wonder what would be an interesting experience in my like career as working with that other agency. I was like, if I was out somewhere and like a sheriff showed up being like, boy, this is my highway, I was like, I'd be kind of down for that. I'd be kind of see how that goes. Take a sheriff to jail.
Yeah. So that one was he had 2 events, and this one it was the wildest story. I played it last week. I'm not gonna play it again, but the gist of the story was the deputy calls out he's shot, and that when the first officers get there, the dude's like, he went that way. So the one guy picks up the cops, because the cop that got shot had his gun out. It was laying on the ground. He picks it up and he's like, oh shit. Like he realized like I shouldn't have probably done that. And then he puts it in the other cop's holster, back in his own holster. Then he's like, well, it's a crime now. So he takes it and he stuffs it in his waistband. The sheriff shows up screaming at him, and it's a city cop versus the sheriff. And is like, tells him to put the gun back. And the dude's like, I'm not recreating a crime scene. He's like, I've already moved it. I'm not doing it. So they go back and forth. They actually arrest the guy. They arrest the cop. He's even getting on his own radio channel that the sheriff's arrested him. Sits in the car like 20 minutes. They let him out. And I'm watching this and I'm like, this is the craziest thing. And then the very end, GBI, it comes on. GBI determined that the officer shot himself twice in the leg. And I was like all that chaos. And then the cop fucking made up the entire story and shot himself. But that's the second time with that sheriff where there was an incident where a city cop ended up like 20 feet into the county, and he knew the driver, and he basically walked up to the traffic stop and was telling the driver to leave. Mm-hmm. And the cop's like, you're not doing that to me. And obviously he's got a real problem.
Yeah.
That's the same one. Question. When logic fails, we tend to go for the illogic. This applies to conspiracy theories. Just saying. Yep, you're right. I've been on, hold on one second. What advice should I give a new guy who might, FTO is tough, man. I always say, feel the FTO out. You got to know, like, I remember when I got hired, I didn't know if I had to wear my seatbelt or not. Like, is the FTO going to get mad at me? I tried to like navigate those things. So I've been so far removed from FTO, I wouldn't even know, man. Jordan, he pulls up on Sandy Springs traffic stop. Oh yeah, he's not going to do that in Sandy Springs. The sheriff. That'll be
no.
Shout out to Largo. Thoughts on Cobb County? Cobb PD.
I said PD. Did I say SF? No, not the my bad. PD. Yeah, Cobb PD. Yeah, my bad.
I say this, and before seeing the original Charlie video, I'm sorry, but there was seriously appeared to be an exit wound. Yeah, it's tough. So what I was going to say is weird things happen. I went to a suicide once where the guy shot himself in the head right by in the garage, right up against the wall, because everything went backwards onto the wall. Because the body does weird things, he ended up 5 feet away. He must have been like a lot, stumbling, spun back around, and then fell backwards, facing completely opposite way of the wound. And the bullet went through his head, ricocheted around, and he fell, and it landed perfectly between his arm and his body. And it was just laying there. And the gun's on his hand. The bullet's right there. He's by himself. There was nobody else home. Doors were all locked. Neighbor heard the gunshot in the garage, and you got there, and I looked at that for an hour, and I'm just like, there's no fucking way that like this can't be possible. Like, there's things that happen, and the body does things. We all assume it's like they talk about like on Hollywood where the guy flies backwards or everything goes flying. It just doesn't happen that way. And I never forget that call. I just kept staring at it. I'm like, how did this dude walk like 4 feet away and fall? And then the bullet did all this shit, and then literally a projectile lands like right next to him. I'm like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. But weird things happen. But now with cameras everywhere, there are some weird things that happen. Did you see like one of the guys like immediately took the camera down that was right behind him? It's on video. Like
there was and someone was saying something about like one of the, I don't know, they were showing video or pictures of Secret Service, whatever people that were from Trump's assassination attempt that were also there, and like I was like, I can't because I will fall down a rabbit hole fact checking the shit out of that stuff.
Yeah, I've kind of avoided it. I look at like, I mean, I've donated the money. I'm still donating proceeds from all the stuff I'm taking in. I got Flag over there. I got the stuff, but an amazing dude. I mean, obviously he was about asking questions and being up. So he, it's like one of those things, even like that jackass was saying earlier about like talking about dead people, it's like, to me, it's almost a touchy subject. It's like, when do we let the guy die? Obviously, we don't want him to die in a conspiracy or being murdered by somebody who didn't do it. But when I start to think about the conspiracy, and my wife said this the other day, she's like, you found a 20-something-year-old kid that was like, I'll do it. I'll take the hit. I'll go along the entire ride. I'll go to prison. And then you can make the argument, Epstein, and he disappears in the middle of the night and he goes into witness protection. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Even when you go like part conspiracy, like you found a guy to take it, what do you do with him afterwards? Like the 9/11 conspiracy. And I'm a big on the Pentagon.
You ever watch Loose Change?
Yes, a while ago, a long time ago. But like I'm on the Pentagon, and it's like, then my wife goes, well, where'd all the people go? And I'm like, yeah, where did the people go? If it wasn't a plane, where did the people go? So it's like you can just do, and that's one of the things when Jimmy mentioned, I knew I liked Jimmy when I met him, when he talked about the speed of light and traveling in time, where you can actually get ahead of yourself and you would see yourself arriving. And I was like, I get down the rabbit hole of space and the size and and I'm just gone. There are
a lot of those other like astrophysicists, and you watch a lot of stuff like Neil deGrasse Tyson, like however he goes which way. But a lot of that stuff, you'll go in and they're explaining time travel, and you're kind of like, what? And I'll go in and I'll go into and I'll start somewhere, and then an hour and 45 minutes later, I haven't eaten lunch, I haven't done whatever. But I'm looking at like astrophysics. I don't even know what this is. This word has 17 letters in it. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I get going, and I'm like, and those guys are so intelligent. They start talking. It seemed, is it me or was it Brian Cox is my favorite? He's got that like accent. They all see, and even the black guy that's on Joe Rogan all the time.
Neil
They have the coolest voices, dude. And I think their voice sucks me in too. I'm like, this guy starts talking, and he's talking about, if he said something, the one guy, Brian Cox on Joe Rogan, said that if you could travel at the speed of light, he said you could essentially go to like the Andromeda galaxy in seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But when you tried to come back and tell everybody on Earth what you saw, 4 million, and I'm trying to do the math, my pinkies and my toes. I'm like, and you try to think about that, and I hear that, and I'm just like, oh my God.
Like, he's like, we can do it, but you won't be able to tell anybody.
Yeah, you'll come back and it'll be 4 million years later, and you're like what?
Yeah.
One of
the goddamn, we're off topic. Whatever. One of the things, and like like just your big brother's watching, so it catches it. One of the things that shows up on my Instagram now is a guy who does simulations with what would happen to the Earth if this. Like one of the last one was like, what happened if like the sun turned off, and like how close to death all us assholes are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God. They're like, what would happen if I think it was said a quarter hit the Earth traveling the speed of light, and it would literally split the Earth in half. And I don't even know if it's true. I'm too damn stupid, but they make a good argument. They make a good argument doing the math of how many gigajoules of energy would get, and I'm like, that's terrible. And that's absolutely terrible.
And it's scary because it's like, there's one side of me that goes, well, you should live every day like a maniac. Yeah. And then there's the other side that goes, well, maybe you should try to like not let the, like, what do you do? Like it's bad. Do you believe in the Epstein list? Do you think there's an Epstein list?
Of course there's an Epstein list.
Yeah, I believe so.
Of course.
I listened to Jimmy Watson Come to Jesus moment. Yep. Jimmy's had a wild life. If you haven't watched on Counterculture, Other Than Audible podcast, Jimmy Watson, Taylor Kavanaugh have some of the wildest stories about two of the baddest human for that asshole that I kicked out, two of the baddest human beings on earth, special ops, and they are humble, friendly, don't talk shit, and take accountability for everything they've done. Isn't that crazy? Well, we appreciate everybody. Jordan is going to be, unless he's on vacation or something, we're going to keep this the hot topic is going to be myself, Jordan Ennis, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. This show was I kind of winged it today. I'll be honest. I was dealing with the logo, and I got to eat dinner late, but
we did better than we ran out of shit to talk about last week.
Yeah, we did. We actually stopped at 53 minutes last week, and this week we're at an hour and 9. So what the premise of this show is going to be to discuss the stuff, weekly topics. I'll have more videos. I'll have it more prepared. My life is becoming, unfortunately, more structured again as I take on a larger role. in the podcasting world, but this show is going to be a staple. 7 p.m. every Wednesday. Myself and Jordan are going to be on here, and if one of us is gone, the other one will host, and we'll get it done. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate the comments, and we'll see you next week.